Welcome to another edition of Inspired Discussions. They call me Sibley. Serving people is who I am, is what I do. And I'm with my co host.
Remy, realizing energy made me. What's up, sir?
What's good to you and to our audience tuning in? I'm not going to waste no time. We are going to get directly into this topic because I got something to say, boss. Oh, man.
All right, you feeling good? I like it. I like it.
Well, no, on the real, everybody know when we lost a great part of a great actor in our culture. He done gave us these last 4 years some classics. Um, and well, first I'm just gonna read this Facebook post, and then we're gonna go off of that because that's what's screaming. That's what's
Okay.
that's what ignited this. I'm seeing a whole lot of nonsense about how Chadwick Boseman suffered in silence, how he was making all these films and was dying right in front of us. Just stop. He wasn't silent. We didn't know he had cancer. The people who knew were the people who needed to know. His doctor's family and close friends. He wasn't alone. His wife was always there. Reading out loud. I always hated reading out loud. Just to say. His wife was always with him. He wasn't dying. He was living his life. Some of y'all don't know what that means, but take a lesson from this man. He wasn't sitting around waiting for this heinous disease to do his worst. He was living, loving, laughing, and breathing. So stop projecting this narrative on his legacy. It's a horrible loss for us all. But please remember something. The reason you didn't know about it years ago was because he knew the cancer would be the focus. Why give more energy to that? It takes enough. In a world where we share everything, the idea that a person would want to live out their days on their own terms seems shocking the most. It's not. He didn't live to see today, but you did. What you gonna do with it? And the biggest thing that I took from that was, let me see, I just read it. In a world where we share everything, the idea that a person would want to live their life out on their own terms seems shocking the most. And I guess my question to you is, why, as a society, do we have that sense of entitlement? Like when it comes to celebrities, that we feel like they should share everything with us. Like we should be a part of everything because we know them as an actor. We drew this, it's kind of almost a weird, bond from afar with this person. Why do we feel entitled that they should share personal things like that with us? That's my question.
Uh, I mean, my answer is because with every other celebrity or higher up person as popular and known to the world, they're only known to the world because of who they are, what they've done. So being able to engage with them through their body of work feels like, oh, okay, I'm a part of this person's life in a way. When knowing at the same time you really haven't met that person in real life, so it's
So
like,
we're weirdos then. We're real life fucking weirdos. Cause that's
yeah,
weird.
yeah, definitely, yeah, yeah,
Right? Like
definitely.
like
I can
that's
accept that.
like that's just so weird. And I love this. Like I actually love the fact that we didn't know nothing about it because that just lets you know he has one tight circle. Like that's a tight circle to be dealing with cancer for 4 years and you don't hear a peep about it. Like not one word. You didn't hear not one word about what he was going through. And then the
Now you
second,
know,
you said what?
I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, I'm like, now you know, I can touch on this so many ways. Kind of mess. when have I'm gonna just use myself as an example, like through you knowing me, when have I ever just thrown out or focused on the fact of me having sickle cell?
You don't, but that it's not a you. It's not necessarily a you or a him thing. It's the circle. How many times have people added more energy to your sickness though, and put that out there? That's what I'm saying. Like the circle. Like because at any time it's like Mookie in the hospital. I'm never hearing it from Mookie. Like you never called me. Oh, I said your nickname. Whatever. Uh, whatever. Hey man, that just I'm just saying.
I ain't gonna lie. As soon as you said it, I'm like, all right, just keep talking, just keep talking, just keep talking. No, ain't nobody gonna notice. Just keep talking, just keep talking.
You did it before too though. I've never said it. You did it once. You got it out there. You got it out there once too.
Oh,
That
okay.
was the first time it being said. I just never said
Well,
nothing.
all right.
Okay.
Well, since it's been said, please know,
Don't
if
try
you call
calling.
me by my nickname for real, and I don't know you, nah, that's not cool. But okay, I warned you.
I'm ready, God damn it.
I warned you. Don't you call me by my nickname, and I don't know you. All right,
No, but
moving right along.
what I was saying though, like anytime that is the case, I'm never hearing it from you. It's somebody in the circle, you know. And what I'm saying
Right.
is like nobody in his circle let it get out. Like even when the internet was dogging him for how he was looking, you know, because like I never thought he was sick.
Dang.
I just thought he was getting ready for another role, you know, because he had got thinner in the face and his hair was like he was kind of. I thought he was just getting ready for a role, and it was yeah, man.
What?
It was a point of time, man, where the internet was like, what's up with Chadwick? Why he looking like you know how Black Twitter go, man?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. I just missed that completely. I ain't hear nothing about that. Well, I don't pay attention to the
Yeah,
internet, really.
it was a time where Black Twitter was going in, like on the way he was looking and stuff, and I'm like,
What?
and I never thought that he was sick. I that never crossed my mind. I just figured I'm like, oh, he getting money,
Right,
you know? Because how many times we done seen Denzel, you know, getting ready for a role, and you be like, oh, he getting ready for a role. So like that's the
right.
same correlation that I brought to that. Like I that never crossed my mind that he was sick, and you know.
Huh.
It just goes to show you like you never know
Dang.
what people dealing with, and I can most definitely relate to that because I'm the same like type close knit. Because like when I was telling you when I was dealing with the beast thing, like I didn't even call my mama and tell her about it. Shaq ended up telling her, and she ended up calling me because I didn't want that energy. I was trying to get better.
Right,
Like I was
right,
trying
right,
to get better. I was trying to heal myself. So and you can't do that when you got all that unnecessary energy where it's like not focusing on your healing and it's only focusing on your sickness. So I I, I
right.
most I most definitely just love that part of it, and it's just the irony, man. Just a society. Sometimes I like I just get so oh my god, that's just
So
like
you
one
saying you like the fact that he had that tight knit circle and whatnot?
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, okay. Got you. Okay.
And
I was
it
just
just
making
show how tight knit they are, and like how just that how they was just focused on making sure they spent every moment valuing it with him because even when Black Twitter was going crazy, somebody could have came out and said like, "No, we our
right.
family dealing with this and this," could have got real emotional and said something because man, when I tell you they was going in, like people was going in.
I
Like
missed all of that.
memes all over the place.
I,
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
bro.
missed
Like
all of that. Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I mean,
yeah,
I don't see no
they was
reason for
going
them
in.
to
You know when
share that
I
though.
do something, huh?
I said I don't
What you
see
say?
no reason for them to share that. I'm like, if he's sick and like you said, they got that tight knit circle, letting the world know, like you said, that's going to bring more attention to the fact of what he's going through. When in a situation like that, I mean, you're accepting of all the oh, I hope you get well, prayers up, etc., etc. But you're just really trying to, deal with life and enjoy your family. That's all. Bringing all that extra energy, it's cool. It's acceptable. I can understand that, especially with my situation. It's just like I don't need to focus on that. I'm just trying to live life with my family. I don't see why that is anybody else's business outside of my family in the first place. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess, man. I'm just lost on the fact why. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's something I just need to pray about and ask for understanding because it really grinds my gears, like the sense of entitlement.
to
Why you feel entitled? Like, why you feel entitled to that
oh
information? To
oh
that information because I mean, you never know. Like he could have like selfishly said, I'm good on movies. I'm good on all of this. I'm just gonna strictly focus on my health. He gave the culture some classics in the past 4 years. Some
right.
classics. I mean, Jackie Robinson, James Brown, the Black Panther, Thurgood Marshall, the Five Bloods. I mean, he gave the culture some classics. I mean, like just
How,
straight classics.
how you feel about the fact that he passed away young at that age?
I hate to say it, but man, at this point, who not passing away young? Like really, man.
No,
Like at this point, what Nip was 34? No, 33. Kobe was Kobe was younger. No, Kobe was younger. Kobe was like 40. No, was Kobe
I
40?
have
Was Kobe even 40?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't think Kobe was 40 yet. It might have been. I don't know. Kobe, then you got Chadwick, then you got who else? That young, that like it just that just seemed like that's just the norm. But I mean, we saying it's young, but is it really when you look at it from the perspective of like the body of work that he did over the last 4 years, Like so
Right,
what's
right,
the really young?
right,
What was it really young? Like, and that's just a question. Like I say, just you only get the answer. Yeah, I'll be heavy. See, I'm heavy on the spiritual tip, realigning spiritually. So I'm praying and understanding.
right,
I may be saying it a lot. Just gotta
right.
just the prayer and the understanding because
That's
if I was to go now, who to say that's young? We just don't know. We just don't know
right.
right.
It doesn't really matter because
It don't.
that's something my dad had brought up, and my first response, period, was all right. I'm gonna say it, but it's your perception. If you feel like I said it in a disrespectful way, my first response was, "Oh snap, that's dope. He died young." And then my daddy started laughing because we was both thinking the same way, and it was on the level of, dang, he lived his purpose and got it all out and died young. Cause
Facts.
that's how I look at it. Like,
Facts.
yo, you got all your work done here on Earth and was able to go early, bro. Wow, that's the part right there.
You got
That
called to the new chapter early. In 43 years, he was like
man,
done deal. Done that source was like
right,
done
bro.
deal. Like it's time. So
His job was done. I mean, I like I said, we all know losing somebody is, triggers sad emotions, mad, etc., etc. But like I said, that all comes down to perception and how you view death. And in my case, and clearly in your case, with you being in agreement with me, it's the fact of him being able to live his purpose, get it out the way, and go home. Period. All at a young age. Like
Yeah,
that's dope.
it's
Especially listing all the work he just
hard.
did, like you just
Through
said,
his sickness though, through his sickness, and
through
still
his sickness, bro.
through all his sickness, man. Like I'm inspired off of that because you
Yo,
know I speak a lot about when I was dealing with my challenge and controversy with my dad, how I never missed a beat and I worked through it, you know, so I can relate to it in that sense where I worked through everything that I was going through and you know still
right.
persevered.
Dang. I mean, and at the same time, that's not to say on the other side where there are people who are still living and they got a large body of work as well. That's not to say that, oh, their job here on earth hasn't been done, so that's why they haven't died yet, or they haven't lived their purpose through all these years, that's why they haven't died yet. No, that's not the case. It's the fact of his job, what he was, what this is my perception, the way I think about it, my opinion, the his job and what he was given to do here on earth, he was able to complete his task early, period, no matter what. So just because somebody else is here and you're looking at somebody else's large body of work, and I'm relating this to him being an actor or whatnot, a celebrity, that just means everybody else's hurdles and their job or living in their purpose, their work. Everybody has their own thing that you're supposed to be doing. Period. So
Right.
just because you die young, that don't mean somebody else need to die young as well. Just because they have a large body of work. No, it's just you have your own specific task here on Earth. You complete it. Job is done. And to go even deeper with that, after I had got off the phone with my dad, I was thinking about that and I was like, dang, he had cancer. So how you have brought up he got his job done, still fighting through everything else that he was dealing with cancer. And in my head, it was like, okay, God gave him the cancer, period. He had it no matter what. Like in my head, it's like you had cancer from the day you was born, and cancer is going to take you out on this day, this year, at this time, period. So you already have your expiration day, your expired ticket already in you, and him doing everything he needed to do, and then it was like, yo, my expiration date was right here. Oh, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm enjoying
Right. The
family. I'm
only
enjoying.
catch
I
is the
my
only
work done.
catch. You don't know when it is.
Right, right,
You don't
exactly,
know when it is. And
exactly,
that's
bro.
where I think we get into the last part of that Facebook post where it was like he lived his best life at the end. What you doing with yours right now? You know, like how you what you doing to fulfill your purpose? What you doing
Facts.
to make sure you making your impact and legacy on society because that's what it's about. Like it's not about necessarily, yeah, okay, what you do here, like you're gonna get the accolades, you're gonna get the recognition, you're gonna get the love for it. But
Yeah,
what it's
yeah,
ultimately about is having something after you gone that lives on, and that's legacy. You know, that's what legacy
facts,
is, and that's what he has, and that's what he has. And
facts.
you know how big I am on that because I feel like my whole purpose is to put an imprint on finances. And you gonna know, like Sibley put his all into finances, and he left us with this. You know, when it's all said and done, like he left us
Yeah,
with a different blueprint, a new way of doing things because he was a generational pioneer. Like he paved the lane in his finance game, and that's his legacy, you know. And man, that's what it's all about. Like I get real excited when it comes to legacy because that's if it's one thing I don't fear, like because I think I might have mentioned this. I don't know if it was on a previous podcast or just in our conversation. Like, I might. I don't even think I ever mentioned this to you. For it might have been Cherish I was talking to. I don't
Okay.
fear. I don't fear dying at all. I don't fear it. The thing that I don't even want to necessarily say the thing that I fear. The thing that be on my heart the most is the people that when I leave, the people that it's going to affect and how they feel about me being gone. Because the way I look at life is like when I'm gone, it's just I'm not here no more in the physical, and I'm on to another chapter, and I guess my destiny. I guess you can say I'm just not here in that physical presence anymore, and
Right.
that's
Right.
podcast on that in just in general. But like that's what I fear is just like the feeling around me being gone because I know the the close ones around me don't necessarily like have the understanding that I have when it come to death and transitions and whatnot. So they take it
Right.
different because like I be
Yeah.
so numb and stuff. Like I used to think like, damn, am I not human? Like why I'm not feeling the way certain people feel about certain things. I'm like, I know I don't.
Right.
I'm not like a horrible person that lacks empathy. Like, but why don't I feel like other people? Because it's just that overall perspective that I have. It's like nobody lives forever, and it's two things for certain. Nobody lives forever, and you don't know when you're gonna be called. So it's like
Facts.
I can't get caught up in all of that. I can't get caught up in all of that because it takes away from me actually walking in purpose, living in purpose,
Right.
and doing the things that and fulfilling the things that I'm supposed to fulfill on this side of on this third dimensional plane, I should say, and not
Right.
too deep.
Nah.
That's another podcast.
No, 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 no. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm actually, yeah, yeah. I'm with you because I was curious to hear how you view death because there's been several episodes that we've done before. We touched on it here and there, or we may bring it up, and I wouldn't piggyback off of it because talking about death, some people, like I said, it depends on how you looking at death, and some people are like iffy about it, like let's not talk about it.
Some people
But in
feel and deal with it different, so that's why it's touchy.
right, right, and in my case, I would say this. I agree with everything you pretty much said. I'm not scared of. Okay, I used to be, but I'm not scared of dying or even the thought of death anymore. I don't feel the same way about that as well. And that was only because when Granny and Granddad passed, once I realized like how many people they really affected or how many people knew them, period, and just looking at the love and the legacy that kind of still the legacy that still lives on from them, that's when I was like, oh, okay, so what is it within me that I know my legacy can continue to go on as well? And I'm like, oh, you know what? That's what it's about. Your legacy. Exactly how you just said it. Like that is what it's about. So I don't get sad at death. Like I said, when my dad had said that about Chad, I don't want to call him by his short name. Chadwick. What's his whole name? I'm not gonna call him no nickname.
It's Chadwick Bossman. Yeah, Bossman. Chadwick Bossman. I think that's how.
Okay. CB.
For all y'all, Wakanda forever. If we mispronounce
Right, I'm
his
gonna call him Black Panther because that's what we really, known for is Black Panther. But when he brought him up, that's why my response was that it was wow, he got to go early, he got his job done. So I don't feel sad about it in any way, shape, or form at all. Period. I mean, of course, it sucks that we lost another person, but that's how it's supposed to be, man. You gonna lose the great ones, and the great ones gonna remain still here on this earth when they gone. That's
And,
why they
and
great
that's
ones.
facts, and that's facts. But if you really look at it, what what great what great influence in our culture that we don't lose early? Like really, if you want to like really look at it, because we got Biggie, Tupac, Malcolm X was young, Martin was young. I think like all of them hadn't reached because I want to
Martin
say
ain't dead.
ML Martin Luther King.
Oh,
Martin Long.
oh. I'm like, hold up, bro. Don't do that. He just did Bad Boys 3, bro. What you talking about?
So like they like we know how to deal with this as a culture. And maybe I think that's why maybe a little bit of the sense, okay, maybe I'm starting to answer my own question as we engaged into this.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's what we do.
right, exactly. We really do that. We get to talking about stuff and then answering the questions that we have throughout our discussions.
Right, yo.
Great at this. But yeah, maybe that's why that sense of entitlement is there because of the care, that we have for the culture, and it's like you should have let us know. But then at the same time, I'm like, man, y'all need to just mind your own business and worry about y'all life.
Okay, now let me ask you this as well. With all the people you just named, I mean, I think a majority of them, I think two or three of them you named, died by gunshot, I believe.
Shit, all of
And Chad, he died from cancer.
well, except
You said Martin Luther
yeah,
King,
all of
gunshot.
it. Yeah, but shit,
Tupac, gunshot. Who else
Big
you name?
Tupac, Biggie, Malcolm,
Okay.
Martin, Nipsey. Come on now, like they do assassinations. I mean, hell,
Well,
even if you want
I
to throw in
think
JFK in there, I even throw in JFK in there because he was young, even though he wasn't quote unquote other culture, color of skin, but he was JFK was that president that would have, yeah,
right.
they assassinated him
Okay.
for a reason. Let's just say that.
Right. Okay, well, let me get to this then. If the way people die, okay, hold on. Let me try to phrase this the right way. With everybody that you've named or whatnot, I'm still gonna say, well, their job was done. Period. Even if they was working overtime, like their job was done. Period. Now, how would you feel? Like, how do you look at it when you see the way they died, no matter who it is? Do you feel like, oh, they didn't deserve to die that way? Or do you feel like, I mean, it was a part of their destiny? It was going to happen either way.
uh,
And this is also me thinking about not just them, but people in general, where you will look at a situation and you'd be like, yo, they didn't even need to die that way. Matters if it's an infant, uh, anybody else, a woman, man, whatever. You'd be like, yo, why did they have to die like that?
I don't think I ever really thought of it in that manner at all. So it's kind of hard for me to answer that question because I never really thought like, man, that was messed up. They had to go that way. It just kind of been like that's what it was. That's what happened. That's what it was type deal.
Right,
So
right.
yeah,
Cause
God, that's a hell of a question, man. I really don't have an answer to, but I will say like the way, especially the Malcolm X and well, let's say Martin Luther King. Let me say Martin Luther King. because we say Martin. We got a lot of Martins in the culture, I guess. Oh well, two infamous Martins in the culture.
All right, all right, all right. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Even with those two though, it's like I can't. Uh, all my extreme black extremists out there, please do not take what I'm saying or what. Please do not take this out of context or flip it or any type of way.
What?
It's just hear me out.
Simply disclaimer before he say it. What?
Because man, these two heroes in the culture, and like a lot of things that they fought for, we're still fighting for today. So I don't want to make it look like I'm like shitting
Right.
on just no disrespect in any type of way. So I'm gonna give a disclaimer. Simply gonna give a disclaimer. I don't do disclaimers. I'm uncut,
Facts.
but
Facts.
I'm gonna give it on this one. The
Okay.
way that Malcolm X and Martin, what the assassinations of those two, I believe they had to be assassinations in order for us to move in the culture because
Mm.
it really justified their life's work. In a real crazy way. You just
Right.
hear where I'm going with this because
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
everything that they work was about, it was about trying to get our people to realize the corruption of the establishment, and that's ultimately what took them out. The corruption of the establishment. So I don't think if they hadn't, like, if it was just on some sickness type deal
Right.
where it happened, I don't believe their legacies has been as magnified as it is today without the assassinations. Like if it was just like the Chadwick, where it was just just an illness or something of that nature of them passing. I think they would still be, you know, they would still be meaningful in our culture, but
Yeah.
the conversation after their deaths, I don't think would have been as big as it is now without assassinations.
Right. 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 I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with your response for sure because that's how I feel about all of that. Answering my own question for sure, from an infant to the most popular celebrity or legends that has passed away, even though they died the way they died, the impact from the way they died, in my eyes, was still supposed to be that way. Like you said, the way someone dies, to me, it delivers that impact, even though sometimes we feel like we may not know where that impact is going or why they needed to die that way, but there's an impact there for sure.
It is
It's meant for that to exist, no matter who it is and the way it happened. Period.
right, because
So
even
I agree.
if we look at the Nipsey, I'm calling this a assassination because that's exactly what it was. It was an assassination. That's what I'm calling the Nipsey. He It happened in the parking lot of a plaza that he didn't own before, that he used to sell
Right.
sell CDs out of, hustle CDs out of, and when he got assassinated there, he owned that same plaza. Like, so that just,
That's so.
yeah, man.
Okay.
Like,
I
yeah,
want
man.
to say that's so dope, but I'm hesitant because I'm like, I don't know who's on the other side of the camera, and y'all gonna flip out just because I said that. Like, yo, that's so dope, bro. Like, you died right there where you put in most of your work, made change, brought attention to. Like, you died right there. It remind me of Granddaddy. he wanted to die. He wanted to die in the church. Period. He wanted to pass. He wanted his last days to be at the church. Him being the greatest person and preacher that I still say to this day has been the
Fact,
best I've ever ever seen, and I will never probably see again. But yet
fact.
his legacy live on through family and close friends. He wanted to die there. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? Why not?
I wouldn't even just narrow it down to close friends. It lived through anybody he ever touched.
Man, for real, bro.
Anybody he ever touched.
For real, bro. For real, for real. Yeah, so that's dope to me, bro.
It is, man. I don't want to say it get me excited about, you know, dying,
I
but
mean, no, it
but
that's the thing
it
though. We
put it
have
in
to change.
perspective, and it help
Right,
you,
no,
and it help you live in purpose and not focus on death. I should say.
right. Well, okay, wait a minute. Time out. That last part. Not focus on death. That's not where I was going with that part because I was actually going to say we have to change the way we view things in life. And the greatest negative in my mind is death. I've said that before on this podcast through other episodes. And if we can't change that, we're going to continue to feel a certain way instead of accepting that energy and feeding off of it to build and grow. Because there's an impact there, and no matter who it is, you're a part of that impact if you feel a certain way about it. The only thing is, I'm not saying you're not supposed to grieve or feel sad or mad about the situation. It's the fact of that same energy. You're only going to get that energy when like those moments happen. You'll never find those energies anywhere else in life. You only get that when somebody else died that you feel that you're close to and you really respect, you love. That's I don't want to say that's the price you pay, but at the same time, that's what it is. That's the yin and the yang. You're only going to get that energy when somebody is dealing with death. So using that energy to build and grow is what needs to happen. You can still be sad and mad and whatnot, but that's the only time you're going to get it. That energy is special. You can say energy in so many different ways. You could talk about the sun, you could talk about light, electricity, whatever. But that energy is special. That's why it only happens how it happens. Period. It delivers an impact.
I absolutely agree with that because in 2019 it was three deaths that that just hit me in a different way. It was the nip, like that hit me in a way that it was like man, why didn't I know about him sooner? Because like I said last week, everything that he was about with all money in is what I've been about for the last 7 years, and with creating capital. So it hit me where I'm like, shoot, my game plan and my vision is not too far off because it was being done in a total
Right.
different industry. And then my high school partner, high school friend Courtney, it was like maybe shoot a month after that, and that really put because we was the same age, and it was like whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
what I'm doing here? Like it can be stopped at any time, at any time, and then the
Facts.
whole what I don't want to say what I loved about it, but one thing that stood out about the Courtney, like he passed at his desk doing what he loved. Like he left it
See?
all out. It was all out on like it was all there. Like it was at his desk doing what he loved. Like
Right.
like that's where it's at. And then then the cut then maybe shoot, because Courtney was at the beginning of May. Then my dad was at the end of May, and I just felt moments of times of how that just affected me, and it changed the way I grind, and just the way my perception
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
of everything. So Absolutely. It's nothing like that energy that you get from,
Nothing, bro.
just that. It's just like,
Nothing.
okay, I'm a, because even stepping to meet you, when that happened, that put me in a whole
Bro.
perspective because it's like, whoa, hold on,
Woo wee,
I
boy.
go from work every day. Like,
Man,
what's up? Like on the same highway, like in the same
bro.
area. Like at that time, like I was, driving to 23, in that same area. So it's like, hold on, wait a minute, let's pump the brakes here. Like that. That's probably the because I wasn't
Man,
like
bro.
as mature, like spiritually and with my mindset then to where to really had to have understand. That one hurt me because I'm like, shoot, that could have been Shaq, my brother. Like we used to hoop like Easter Sundays. All of that
Right.
shit. Just like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah, no, that
put this in perspective for me, and then with me about to be a father, and it's like, dang, little cuz ain't gonna better be my baby, and like all this other stuff. It's just like, man, like so
no, that's real.
it's
That
just
that is so real, bro. That's Michi is definitely one of those energies for me too. Definitely. Like I said, man, yeah, he was a special energy for me as well. Through our last conversations, when him coming to see me in the hospital. I don't know how long I was in the hospital. Then I think I was in for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. And he came up there, and yeah, our last conversation was talking about being tired and still putting in work and whatnot, and talking about the magazine and everything else that I had going on and what he was thinking about doing. And then to hear that, you know what? I heard my last conversation with him was in the hospital, and then me hearing about him passing away, I was in the hospital then too.
yeah, you were, because I remember the
Yo,
funeral. You was just recovering because you was barely in the funeral. I remember that.
yeah. Yo, that wow, yeah, that just hit me different. I'm like, yo, the the
Yeah,
hospital, boy, the hospital is something special in my life. I could tell you that. Cause now I'm sitting here thinking about everything else that I've dealt with in the hospital, all of it, every single thing that I'm thinking about, me being in the hospital, all holds a huge part in who I am today. All my experiences, different moments that shifted thought that I never would have had before, everything. Wow. Wow. I know I just went off here, but it's like, yo, wait a minute. The hospital is a major factor in my life, bro. But yeah, with that energy, he helped me to stay focused and deliver my first magazine. And that's why he's on the back of that as well. And with me delivering my first magazine, it made me focus and see what's going on within my life to keep pushing and doing other things. Honestly, I don't even know if I would be at this level right now having this podcast with you if it wasn't for that. So it's like everything falls into place the way I'm looking at it. And a lot of it is revolving all around death. So it's like there's there's no need to fear it in my eyes. That's something special, special energy like that. You gotta do something with. You gotta do something with.
I
You
can.
ever you ever thought about okay with me saying that death holds a special energy that we experience or engage with. Have you ever thought about it like you know how when we're sad, like with death, most people, are sad, crying, or feel mad about something. You ever thought about it being like when we're engaging with that energy, my fault. it's so special and so robust to where it's like our vessel as a human being can barely deal with it, and that triggers our emotion of sadness and anger or whatever it may be. You get what I'm saying?
Mm, kinda, but no.
Like like if you was to shake up some soda, you already know as soon as you pop that lid, it's coming out. With death holding such an important special energy, us dealing with it, it just feels overwhelming in a way, creating that emotion that we engage with sadness, anger, or whatever it may be.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Because it's it's all about those thoughts, like because your thoughts make you feel a certain type of way. So once you start thinking in a certain light, you feeling all these
Yeah.
start feeling all these emotions, and you like, oh shit, I'm an emotional wreck right now, and I'm
Right. Right. Yeah, yeah, yes. And it's like if we can only focus on that in the moment and do something with it, it no matter what it is, it'll be special, period. Because we're still going to get that emotion and get overwhelmed, but it's like just turn that energy into something. And what I feel like any and everything you put that energy into is going to be something different that remains no matter what it is. I really believe that. We just got to change our view on death. That's what helped me no longer fear death. It's like, okay, this is a value that's needed and energy that's constantly there to help me build in life, to help me grow in life. And I'm saying that like personally as me. I can list several death experiences, and it's like, yo, that all makes sense to me now. The way I view it, the way I deal with it, and I'm still believing everything happened for a reason. So it's like, yo, I'm being hit with so many different death defying moments. It's like, okay, you're the vessel that can really deal with this. I'm gonna give you this golden energy here. I'm gonna give you this golden energy there. I'm gonna give you this golden energy there. You can hold on to all of it because you're gonna turn it into something. And I think everybody should already have or should change their view on that like that. It's golden energy that you'll never get anywhere else, period.
and you don't like because the understanding that you get through that, especially when you conquer those emotions and feel
Man,
to bounce back
that
up
right
out
there.
of it, that strength
Yep.
that you gain from that is none matched out of any. Because when I tell you, once I found out, like,
Yes.
yeah, I can handle this,
Yes.
man, talking about somebody that had his chest poked out, like, what? Like, what?
Right, bro.
What? Like, I just,
Yeah.
like, I lost my pops, and I didn't miss a fucking beat. Like, what? Let's go. Let's go. Like, so, even
Right.
even if I have, little breakdowns here and there, and I do, but like I'm not saying like I don't miss my dad and I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
those moments. Like, of course I do. Like, and especially now during this time because football season about to start back up, and that was one of the ways me and my dad we connected. We stayed with the playoffs going on right now in basketball and all of that. That was one of the ways we connected and bonded was through sports. So this time
Right.
of year is like these last couple years been kind of hard because I'm used to those Friday calls, those Monday calls after the game, those calls after the game. You watch that because my dad used to call me you watching Tiger, son? You watching Tiger? Like, no, like I watch golf just because my dad to keep it up with it, keep up with it, you know, so we
Right.
can talk about it or whatnot. He was like, yeah, I'm watching Tiger or this or whatever. So it may be. So like I'm not saying that, but the strength that I got where I'm like, my pop still with me because he still lives through me. Like that's something
Fact.
that is like un unmatched. Like it's unmatched.
Yeah.
It's unmatched.
Yeah. 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 Man, you know what? I really like this one for sure. Because even though we talked about death, I can see your natural engagement and emotional delivery behind death, and I'm pretty sure the same on yours with me talking about it. So normally, you know how when you hear other people talk about death, it gets like a foggy atmosphere. Like, all right, y'all,
Yeah.
let's
It get this aura like, why are we talking about dying? Okay. Um,
right. No, man, that's not the
it's
atmosphere
a
we should
subject
have.
like nah.
Right. No, we shouldn't have that atmosphere. I mean, I know you're gonna get it for a moment, but this atmosphere that we're delivering behind it with joy and excitement and appreciation and a greater understanding, that's the energy the atmosphere should have when you're discussing death.
Yeah, because like death unfolds so many things that other life experiences don't. Like you would never know, you would never have value, I should say, because like we know, and I think that's why it's so important to give
Dang.
their credit due while they here, because you would never know the value of somebody's legacy until they gone. You know, like because it's far too often is how many people you say, because I think because they pass and then that magnifying glass on them, and then you was like, you be like, damn, this person was really a stand up fucking guy. Like he did a lot of work. Like, cause even with the Kobe, because I have been saying it's no secret that I've been an active Kobe hater for years. Like I've been an active Kobe hater for years. It's like that's no secret. But as he retired and he began to like show more of himself and as a father, and as a mentor to some of these guys in the league, I'm like, shit, this dude and his legacy, man. Like I see why he got so many fanboys, cause like he legit, like
Right.
he legit God, so sort of speak, to say not God, capital G,
Right.
God,
Right.
lowercase g, so if that
Yeah.
makes sense to the audience out there. But we want to engage, we're gonna have to do that religion.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Please believe that. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, so in that standpoint, I think like you gain more, like you gain more appreciation for people through death, even though you should have that appreciation for them while they here.
Right.
I just believe it just increases so much more because because the way I look at it, I'd be like, shit, I gotta keep going. Like I gotta keep going. Like I gotta tweak some of these relationships in my life to make sure like the people that I say I care about, they know that. They know I care. Like
Right. Right.
no matter how fast the grind getting, because like we don't engage throughout the week. That's why when you drop in and be like, what's good, my good sir, or whatever in the chat, I'll be like, shoot, I need to start doing that more just to stay a little active. So I'm still like I'm working, but I'm still here. Type
Right.
thing.
Right. No, as you should. As you should. We all growing in this. We're all growing in this. Bro, you hit me with that. You don't have value without death. Nigga, I ain't never heard that one before. That got me thinking. Now I'm like, wait, what? That
I'm
makes
not,
a lot of
not
sense.
not necessarily you don't have it. It's just not as your value while you here at
Yeah.
times isn't as magnified as it is through death. Because you how often do you hear like, oh, I should have said this more to that person. I should have did this more.
Nah, right,
That,
right, right.
people understanding that value of that person, so like that value increases. The light surrounding that said value increases.
Hmm, gotcha.
And
Appreciate that, Mr. Sibley.
that's
Taking
that's
notes.
I wonder why you opened up. I'm like, what did I say that he about to write down? Because I was really trying to. I was really going back in my head. What did I say that he about to write down?
Nah, yeah, no, you got me writing stuff down now for sure, for sure. I ain't gonna display it on here, but nah, yeah, you gave me something I can build off of. I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. Dang, yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. This is a different conversation revolving, not revolving, involving death that is unique, I believe, because I don't think you're gonna find any conversations at I don't at this level with the atmosphere that has been created anywhere else at the same time.
I most definitely agree with that. Most definitely.
So,
I
yeah,
most definitely agree with that. And well, on that note, man, we done put together a good episode, and I don't. I
once again.
want to stop right there because I really wanted to talk about this and like get this out of there. And like we went from the entitlement to and and really just expanded on from that. And I think we gave. I ain't know. I know we gave some great value this week. Um,
Yeah,
I guess that was our therapy session of the week too.
yeah,
that,
no, for real, for real.
that was the
Uh,
therapy session of the week. Y'all know the
that worked.
platform to find us on. If I really said, well, no, I guess if I was to leave our audience with something, it would be just figure out, like we always talk, just figure out what your purpose is and live in it
Yeah,
day in, day out, no matter what you're going through, because through your struggles, you never know who you inspiring, just keep pushing
right.
by you working through your struggles. So if if it's something on inspired thought, like just to leave them with, it'll be that.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't mad at that one. I ain't mad at that at all. I will say, through death, appreciation. The appreciation for death should be shifted not only to the level of us having a natural reaction for someone that we knew and loved, but also to the level of at the same time that energy that triggers that can be used for greater things as well.
I most definitely. Oh yeah, I most definitely. That's better than what I just said. So I most definitely,
They
accept,
both good. They both good.
affirm that one. Affirm that one. As always, y'all, we appreciate and we love y'all for listening to us every week. We have
Definitely appreciate it.
such a great time creating this content and just coming and just putting our touch on this podcast industry. And we appreciate y'all support, y'all listening every week.
Yeah,
And we see y'all next week. Let's create.
let's create.